All right, for everybody who's watching, welcome, and here we go. I've made some pretty big changes to my Blue Tempo deck, and we're going to give it another run because I'm gearing up for next week. We're going to start, I should have the Patreon up by then, and then we're also going to start going into the leagues next week on around Monday. Monday, you should see these videos going into the leagues, and we're actually going to be playing in the tournaments. And so what I've done is I've tweaked it. Eldrazi, the Elder Deep Fiend was never panning out. I never was able to keep a 3-drop on the battlefield in order to play him, so I switched him out for Dreamcaller Siren. It's the pirate version of Mistbind Click. Mistbind Click taps all your opponent's lands down, but it's very tribal. Now this one, you have to have a pirate in play in order to play him, but we already have some. So I've just increased kind of the number of pirates and then added some interesting ones that I've wanted to play regardless. Warkite Marauder is one that I'm trying to test, and I'm interested to see how it's going to play out. Same with Departed Deckhand. He is a spirit and a pirate, so he's going to be there for Dreamcaller Siren, and he's going to trigger Nebelgest Herald. Same as Spectral Sailor. They're both spirit pirates. But in order to keep this tempo oriented and cutthroat active, I've just increased the counter magic while taking out some of the cards. You'll notice Merfolk Trickster is no longer in here. And I've replaced some with 2 mana leaks. I put in some dispels for cheaper counter magic and some quicklings in order to just reuse any value that we can get because we're losing some value. I also took out the 3 mana cycler because we no longer have to hit that 3-drop. It's not as important because we're losing Elder Deep Fiend. And I took out the other Eldrazi, which was the Dimensional Infiltrator, which was one of our 2-drops. And so those got replaced with counter magic, the Dreamcaller Siren, as I was explaining, but also this Quickling here. He's just old-fashioned kind of blue tempo, but he allows me to return a creature to my hand and then get any value, such out of Rattle Chains or Nebelgest Herald, or if they go to kill something, it works kind of like a counterspell because you can return the creature to your hand and fizzle the spell, much like Rattle Change is going to do for our team, where he's going to come in and give something hexproof. He's going to come in and just bounce it back to my hand so that they don't kill it. So we're hoping to get as much tempo value out of this as we can, and we'll just jump into a game now and see what we can do. Got the right deck selected, and we're going to get into it. And this should be pretty fun. A lot of these cards this is definitely my kind of deck because it's very wonky. The opponent's not going to know what we're doing because these are not modern played cards. We are going to play first, obviously. And no lands, so that is a mulligan. Alright, so... Wow. Alright, we will keep on the strength of Mutavault. And just... Man, our opponent's going to have a heyday with us. So these were 2 really bad draws right in a row. But we can't afford to go down any further, I don't think. Just because we're not the type of deck that's going to win turn 3 like Tron. And we're probably going to play those kind of decks here. Let's see what we're up against. Alright, so we got... What is this? Amira's got... Oh. Interesting. So... And another Mutavault. Alright. We're going to play this. I'm just going to get in because I can. It seems like it's a freebie. But they may have like some combo card coming down next turn. But they definitely can't kill my Mutavault right now, I don't think. They probably assume I'm playing Merfolk because that's the only modern deck that runs basic islands like this and Mutavaults. I don't know this deck at all that I'm playing. Alright, so we're just going to hold up and Herald at the end of their turn, but we're going to Mana Leak because they're coming up on whatever they're going to do. They're probably going to do it here soon, this turn. And we got plenty of counter magic. they're not going to drop something. I don't know what we're up against. All right. What do we got? All right, I'm going to mana leak this. Because we can still hold up another mana leak. Hopefully he's just some sort of jam-packed removal deck. And I'll have enough mana leaks to get through it. I don't know. That is not a standard Modern card. So he's playing something completely off the wall too. So this should be fun. Ooh. Okay. That's worth countering. Alright, so this is going to put a big push in our direction because we can hit with 2 Mutavaults plus our flyer. We're going to bring him down to 10, and we get to play the Mausoleum Wanderer. How do we want to do this? We could attack with 1 Mutavault and put down my other Nebelgest Herald at the end of his turn. That's going to change the math, though. Put him down to 12. Then we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're still not getting there. So I think it's still correct to do this. Now this should protect against any path he tries to do. And because I'm deploying all of my threats here, this is when he's going to want to path something. Because he can hit my Mutavaults. Yep. So I'm going to sack this to counter it. That's the great thing about Modern. Some of these decks, you can really get by with like some of the removal spells. Path to Exile is only $5 to $10. Terminates are pennies, and Fatal Pushes aren't that expensive at all either. A couple bucks a piece compared to what they can deal with in the environment. You can basically build decks with the best removal ever printed, and it doesn't cost you a lot. All right. So this puts us in a weird, like this puts us in the ability to playing him. 2, 4, okay. We're gonna just swing for 2 and put a lot more damage on in our next turn. We can drop this and tap 2 of his guys down. Because I can activate a Mutavault and it's a pirate, and then I can, with 5 lands and a Mutavault, I can, with 5 lands, one of them at least being a Mutavault, we can cast this guy. So it effectively makes him cost 1 more mana, but it'll work because my Mutavault will be a pirate. Here we go. Players can't activate plan at the beginning of your draw. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a hard one to win with right now. I think. Because I should win this turn. Yeah, Spell Pierce kind of puts it away. It should. Because now I have Spell Pierce, I'm able to... Wow, that, like, perfect mana for it, too. So I can Spell Pierce any weird removal spell he may have that costs no mana. But he's dead now. Alright, so as you can tell, I was at 20, he was at 0. This is what happens when you play mono blue tempo in Modern, and you are not playing a tier 1 deck. The decks we've played recently, Tron and stuff like that, the last few days, those are tier 1 decks. Those are big decks in Modern, and they are very hard to beat. And my deck literally costs a few dollars to build. So you're talking about card quality differences are immense, where one of their cards costs 3 to 4 times as much as my entire deck. So to have any kind of game against those decks at all shows the power of the cards. But at the same time, I'm going to keep this because he seems pretty slow. But at the same time, it shows like this deck is actually pretty powerful to just romp on your random wonky decks. But I don't know. He may have just had really bad draws. This isn't too fast. It would be a lot better if one or two of these was a Mutavault this time around, because what did he do? Did he choose to go on the draw? That's so weird. Now, this Cutthroat's going to get... Oh, here we go. Man. Lucky duck. Cutthroat, and then Herald, and then Siren if we need it. And we curve right out. Now, any removal he has, I don't have protection against. I'm going to hold this up. Just get in for 2. This guy's another one of the new guys we put in. Alright. Yep, I don't know what this... Alright. Yeah, there's no way around that anyway by playing anything. Because it makes me sacrifice... It makes me sacrifice the attacking creature. So... Alright, end of your turn. Another dude's coming in. This is turning into a pretty standard fare tempo deck. Like, tempo plays. He kind of knows what I'm going to do. I kind of know what he wants to do. Kind of. But here's where it's going to get a little dicey. Because I'm going to start playing guys on my turn. Because I'm going to start getting some hits in. We got to start dealing this guy damage. We're going to sack the Mutavault. A lot of people would disagree, but we have a land in hand. Pay 1. What are you talking? What is this? I don't understand what it's asking me to pay 1 for. I don't know. Maybe we hit a bug. There we go. Alright, so it finally resolves. Take him down to 18. But we can play Dreamcolor, and that... The clock we have is not nothing. It's a 2 to 3 turn clock. Pretty easy. It doesn't look like a lot, considering he's at 18, but the guys are very hard to handle, and I can tap his team down. Yeah, like this is just kind of getting in the way. He can't block this guy anyway. I can tap him down if I had to. So, like, I have ways of just getting through these guys. Oh, this is not good, though. We are flooding out hard. And he's going to start doing something. Because his deck doesn't... He didn't build a deck to not do what it's supposed to do. Apparently he gets a lot of cards and plays some big, powerful artifacts. And he just plays these guys that kind of just get in the way. Alright. Yep. Let's do it. Here's something big. Yep, see? And then he gets something big like this guy. Alright, it's not the end of the world, though, because I can tap more than one guy down per turn. Ooh, this gets so good. That's just... Let's see, how does this work? Now, I can't get in with him because he can block. I have no... Oh, yes, I can get in with him. 3, 4. Yeah, but it cost me 4. And he's going to come back and hit me. So what I have to do, I have to tap him down next turn. Which means I got to leave Siren up, which is 4 mana. So I only get in with the 2. This is what I get in with right now. The 2 spirits. Then I drop... What I'm going to do is on his turn, I drop this so he can't attack. And then I can use their ability to make him unblockable. And that's going to put him down to 1. Alright, is this going to get really crazy? Like, is he going to give all his dudes lifelink or something? Gain a bunch of life. It could. This is what's weird. This is probably part of a combo card or something. Or this could just end. Typical tempo deck play. All right. Not letting you gain the life. Now he has to play something that can block him. I mean, he could play a spirit that blocks these guys, but he's got to play some sort of blocker. And my hope is that I draw a spirit. Ooh, hexproof. Okay, how do I get out of this one? He's going to go down to 1, but then he's going to start gaining a lot of life. I don't mind about that, but what can I do? Well, that's a little late. And he's holding 1 up. This guy is... Oh, he is not hexproof, or he is not lifelink, though. Oh, jeez. One, two, three, 4. Yeah, it's still just throwing it into... I think he's going to gain 3 life. Can I go 1? I think I can go 1 more turn. Because it looks like he's just a big angel deck. And that's okay. Because I can mana leak whatever big thing he tries to play. And I'll have a cutthroat, which is going to put more pressure on him. Just do this. Can't block. These guys are paying for themselves pretty well. Is he going to path them? He's going to path one of them? That'd be a bummer. Because I don't think I could stop a path right now. I couldn't afford to. Alright. Big thing. Big thing. Play the big thing. All the big things. Because I'm going to in-response cutthroat and then mana leak and then hopefully come crashing in. I don't know if I care about this guy. Let's see. Does he matter? He is a blocker, but not a flying blocker. But he's not going to... He could have removal. Alright. This could be bad. I'm going to counter this anyway just so he doesn't have blockers and it puts him in a really tight spot where maybe I can get enough damage through, even through the lifelink. Yep, here it comes. Okay, so he's only able to gain 3 life here. This gets ridiculous, though, because this guy keeps getting bigger. But I can deal 7 this turn, so not too shabby. And I got a Spell Pierce and the mana to play it. So here's another. Alright, so we're just going to activate his ability. And we're going to target that guy, because he could potentially block. And then he goes to path something, and I Spell Pierce it. Man, that could not have worked out better. These guys are awesome. I did not know they were that good. But this is 7. This is Xaxes, as we call it, which is the exact amount of damage I got to do. Nope. All right, so there you go. Let's see. This match went relatively quickly. And as you can tell, like, it didn't seem like we stumbled or even had a hard time with this deck. This is a typical, like, rogue modern deck. Okay, people love to get into modern. They can play anything they want, so they play these big angels or these wonky decks or whatever. And like I was saying, like, this really shows the power of, like, the typical common and uncommon blue creatures that have been printed over the years, where you can build a really good aggressive tempo deck. And like I'm showing, like, just these spirit pirates and stuff like that, just being able to draw cards, move abilities over, give them to other people, make them more evasive. Like, you have so many lines of play. The only way I could have gotten through these angels are these pirate guys. So they paid for themselves in gold this match. But it didn't seem like we even had a hiccup. It was almost like this deck was made to beat an angel deck. But it's not. Like, this is just a typical tempo deck. But this is how they play. It's, I don't know. That was really good. I wish we would have saw more of the creatures. But anyway, I'm going to let this go and look forward to next week. Look forward to checking back with the channel. By the end of this week, early next week, the Patreon hopefully will be up and stuff like that. Lots of new stuff coming. I want this to really develop, so stick with it. Subscribe, like the channel and everything. All right.